All right. Let's get it. Ha, ha, ha. Perspective as a kid versus an adult. Does your perspective change? Is it different? Does it even matter? Let's get into it.
Rain on the beat. However you want it, it's all eyes on me. Yeah, baby, you can ride, but can't ride for free. Everything stop like I'm riding on E.
What up, though? Your boy Deuce the God, back at it again, man. Today I'm going to talk about perspective. Like, when you was a kid and seen things versus when you became an adult and got a better understanding of what the story actually was or what you actually seen. And I'm going to break it down and tell you what I mean by that. Like, as a kid, first of all, a lot of people know me from being on Lafayette and Shane. But what I be trying to tell people, I migrated over there from the west side. Puritan and Ashbury Park, corner house right there, right? But once I got over there, well, before I go into that, being around in that area and stuff, people might get it confused that I'm from the King homes. Shout out to the Martin Luther King homes. King homes, my brothers and sisters. You could go over there, you get a babysitter, buy some candy, get some little shots at night, get your hair done, anything that you need that's possible. You know what I'm saying? You could get it down in them King homes. I know it's a lot of negativity that be shining on the King homes, but the King homes is a great community. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my niggas in the King homes. But contrary to what people believe, I am not from the King homes. And the confusion lies in this, right? So I went to school with a lot of them cats. Shout out to Lamont Winfield, David Mann, James Allen, etc. Latoya Stewart. It was a lot of them that I went to school with, right? And then growing up and being around them and living in that area, I could understand why people think I'm from the King house. But I want to tell a story about when younger, probably was like 10 or 11 years old, because back in them days, you could not go in the King homes without a pass or somebody vouching for you. I was dang 10, and the old dude came up to me and was like, "Who is you? Who you know? Where your pass at?" I was like, "Oh my God. Like, what the heck is going on," right? But I told I live right across the street, Franklin Wright Village. Shout out to Franklin Wright Village. That is now City Side. So he let me go, right? So niggas wouldn't mess around with the King homes like that. Matter of fact, it's almost, you could say people was kind of shook, me included, and I live right across the street from that motherfucker, right? So, and not using no names in this because even though this was a long time ago, I could understand the sensitivity of this story. So, my homeboy at the time, one of my best friends, his pops, ended up getting robbed by one of the King home niggas, right? So as a kid, it already got this stigma of the King homes, like, no, do not enter. You know what I'm saying? Which is funny because after going to school with a lot of them, growing up, it's like, okay, yeah, that, because like I say, it's a beautiful community, but in any community, they're going to have their rules and regulations. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, my homeboy Pops ended up getting put hands on and robbed by some King home niggas. So as a kid, it was like, oh no. I remember shedding a tear and even being mad, like, man, why they do that to my homeboy Pops? Like, it was crazy. It was a big thing back then, And R.I.P. to Pops, man, But what's crazy about this, as a kid, that stigma right there was like, stay away. They be just picking people out and, you know, trying to beat them up and rob them. So, fast forward this, right? I'm in high school. I ain't make it. I think I dropped out like 10th grade for real, even though I went to like 6 different high schools. But, okay, once I started trying to hustle, $2 hustle, because I wasn't the man or nothing like that. Definitely a worker. But when I started to put my jump off the porch, how they say, I end up running into them same cats that did that to my homeboy Pops, right? So, like I say, at this time, I'm hustling and stuff like that. And I understand what credit is and chasing people down or people ducking you and don't want to, you know, pay they tab or whatever. So, I don't know, I was chilling with the older niggas over there one day because about this time I done got cool. They done accepted me as one of them. That's why I say I ain't no king home nigga. I'm an honorary king home nigga. Let's say it like that because, like I say, that would be disrespectful to the families that's from there, you know, or migrated from the Brewsters and came over there or whatever. So one day I'm kicking it with the niggas that did that to my homeboy Pops, and I asked them. I'm like, damn, you know, I told them, kind of like what I'm saying now, like, man, back in the day, I used to be scared. One of y'all big niggas came up on me, talking about what my past. I was only 10 years old. I'm like, man, this shit is wild. And I'm like, man, y'all just beat up my homeboy Pops, made him go to the ATM machine, just bullying. And before I could get the rest out, big homie like, stop. It's like, it ain't happen like that. He say, yeah, we put hands on him. Yeah, we took him to the ATM, and yeah, we got our money. But dude was dodging us, man. Like, you know, he had got some stuff on credit. And, you know, we caught up to him, like, you know, and he said it out of his mouth, like, you know, which could have happened a little different, but at that time, people wanted to not only make a point, but, man, how long you gonna make me wait for the money? Now, as a kid, I wasn't no hustler or nothing like that. I wasn't in the streets or off the porch like that. So I have no idea about how the inner workings of how hustling go. But as I got older and started hustling, I actually kind of understood that story because I had to do something similar. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure as a kid, that family member going through and not understanding the interactions of the streets and the neighborhood and how people hustle, and if you don't pay your tab, that's your ass. Especially if people feeling like they ducking and dodging. So, you know, as a kid, I felt bad for my man Pops, and I was even angry. As an adult, I still was kind of angry, but now I have some understanding of it, and I have some perspective of it. So, perspective, you know, especially as a kid, you looking at things one way, and then as an adult, it's like, oh, okay, shit kind of makes sense. So, y'all go ahead, comment on it. Has it been something that happened to y'all as a kid that you looked at it one way, but then the perspective as when you became an adult, like, oh, okay, I get it. You know, put it in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. All right, one.